YouTube, how's it going? It's your boy Jordan back with episode 3 of the What Man podcast with my boy Matt and Nate. We have a lot to talk about in the world of sports right now. First, if you guys are on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you guys are on TikTok and Instagram, make sure you hit that follow button. I really do appreciate it. And we're getting right into the episode. So first, we have a lot to talk about, but I want to make a couple things first. We want to say thank you for the 14 subscribers that we have. It is much appreciated. Thank you so much. We hope to continue to grow from here. And also, I want to apologize for the last episode. There seems to be me like cutting in full screen, right? Yeah, because I wasn't recording my audio, but now we should be all good this episode. So since that's out the way, Jesus, let's get right into it. So first, we're going to talk about Illinois versus Duke. All right. So this game had fans on the edge of their seats. Psych. Illinois lost by 43. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not lying. 110 minus 67 is 43. Illinois came into this looking like to make a statement, while Duke, with its young talent and championship pedigree, was ready to prove everybody wrong, or to prove everybody what they need to be watching in college basketball. Illinois' defense seemed non-existent, and Duke's offense seemed perfect. Illinois' players leading was Trey White, Kasparis Yakichonis, and Kylan Boswell. They led Illinois in scoring with 16, 14, and 12, all in that order, as well as Duke leading with Isaiah Evans, Cooper Flagg, and Con Kneppel, I believe is his name. I'm not quite sure how to say his name, but they led the team in scoring with 17, 16, and 15 as well. But really shifted the momentum was the three-point shooting. Duke shooting 52% and Illinois shooting literally 7.7%. Yes, 2 for 26 behind three. And we were out rebounded by Duke having 44 rebounds and Illinois only having 30. Now, Duke's leading the NCAA as number 2 overall. Illinois is still unranked, 17-11. And guys, I'm very concerned about Illinois' future here coming up with the future schedule. I'm going to start with Matt. Can you just tell me what you saw watching the Illinois game?
Yeah. After the Michigan State game, the word I used was disgusted. After the Wisconsin game, I said I was numb. At this point, I don't even know what fucking word to use. I feel like I'm running out of words in the dictionary, honestly. This was just a complete ass whooping.
Pitiful.
Start to finish, pretty much. It seemed like nothing was going right. Like we've talked about every episode of the show. Just the reliance on the three-point shot. They were 2 for 26 on threes. That doesn't even sound like that should not be possible. Like with Division I athletes. And Humbercows was 0 for 5. DGL 0 for 2. Yakichonis 0 for 4. Boswell 0 for 4. It just seemed like, it was the game from hell, honestly. At the end of the game, Duke took out their starters with like 5 or 6 minutes left, and it seemed like their backups were piecing the shit out of our starters. It's like, have some pride. We let the dude from fucking Spy Kids hit a step back 3 on us, their walk on. If you would have told me that he was a Make-A-Wish kid and his wish was to check into a Division I game at Madison Square Garden and hit a 3, I would have believed you. This dude is 5'6" on a good day. I don't know. Humiliating all around, especially, for the biggest stage. Not really any positives to take away from this one. We got our ass kicked on the boards. Our defense was, I think, saying that it was Swiss cheese would be disrespectful to Swiss cheese in barbecue chicken. Like, they were just driving, getting past us. They were swinging the ball. Their pick and pops were hitting. They were getting wide open threes. We literally could not defend a parked car. And it's very easy to be down, I do still think that we can, beat Iowa at home, but hard to have confidence in any of these games going down. But, that team that, was raining threes on Arkansas and Indiana and Oregon could still be in there somewhere. But now it's all about digging deep, finding an identity. Obviously, that shit was embarrassing. But, what else can you do? You can't just forfeit the season. You have to play these remaining games. So, exactly. All we got to do is trust Whitman and Brad at this point.
Nate, what do you think?
Say there?
The worst loss of all time for Illinois. I've seen that headline plastered all over Twitter and ESPN. I got the notification on my phone about 5 minutes after the game. I didn't expect them to win this game, but I didn't expect them to like get blown out like that, especially at Madison Square Garden. I think the ceiling for this team is probably make it out of the first round of the tournament. And I think to make the tournament, they have to beat Iowa tomorrow. I think if you lose to Iowa and then you lose, that's assuming you lose to Purdue and Michigan. But if you lose to Iowa and you lose those next two games, I don't know if you get a bid to the tournament, to be honest.
Yeah, probably not.
So I think they got to beat Iowa. KJ and Riley are for sure gone, I think, to the NBA. With Riley, how he turned it around midseason, he's for sure going to get drafted. I think same with KJ, even though he's not playing the best right now. A lot of fans on Twitter, and I will say Illinois fans on Twitter aren't the smartest of people.
No,
but
I don't think
a lot of them are
Twitter.
calling for Brad's head, which I think is ridiculous, considering where Illinois basketball was before Brad got there. I mean, the 2010s, this would be like one of the best seasons in years, right?
100%.
Like having a shot at making the tournament
Yeah.
is like a highlight, like pre-Brad for a while. So I think it's ridiculous to call for his head, but I don't think it's wrong to hold him accountable for the things he's saying and how this team is doing. You know, you got to find the middle ground there. So I mean, in the middle of the game at halftime, he said that they're getting good shots, they just need to make them, and he wanted them to keep shooting threes. That's what he said at halftime. And then after the game, there's a real quote. He said, "If we hit 5 of 16 from three, it's a 2-point ball game at a half," which is a ridiculous thing to say. I mean, if I was rich and famous, I'd be dating a supermodel, but I'm broke and a nobody, so I'm not. You know, I think it's time to face the facts here with the program. Obviously, these aren't good shots because we can't make an open three. So open three is not a good shot if you're not making it. I mean, it's just that simple. I think that's just the reality you have to face at this point, and I think you need to pound the paint and stop taking open threes unless your name is KJ, Riley, or maybe an open Hummerkaus. But other than that, you got to get in the paint. I mean, Illinois is 316th in college basketball for 3-point percentage, and they rank 5th nationally in threes per game. So obviously you can't force your way to have a better 3-point percentage, but you can stop shooting.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I'm not gonna lie, watching that game, bro, because like I've said these last couple episodes, I'm still getting into college basketball more. I'm always about March Madness, you guys know that. But when it comes to like the statistics and everything, still getting into it. But watching that Illinois game, bro, we literally could not make a single three, but we continue to shoot threes. Bro, what's the definition of insanity, bro? Fucking doing the same shit over and over again, expecting a different result. Dude, my dad used to tell me and you that all the fucking time on the court, Nate. Literally every fucking time. We would probably because we were doing what Illinois is doing, constantly shooting threes, expecting that we're gonna make it, and we never made them. Bro, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I'm saying? It's like at a point we got to stop shooting, like, and do something different. But go ahead.
We might have shot better than Illinois has.
No. I think, dude, I literally think over here at fucking AYBT tournaments, we were shooting fucking lights out, bro. We were fucking boom. Like, dude, these motherfuckers suck. All right, anyways, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
I saw a stat. It was before we had made a three. We had made our last 11 twos, but missed our last 17 threes, which is like a fucking ridiculous stat. Like, when you see that, why would you not just continue to take the ball to the basket? And honestly, even if they didn't shoot the threes and they were still taking the ball to the basket and, you know, getting better looks and probably making more shots, they still probably would have got blown out because that defense was still atrocious. But I mean, it just goes to show you, like, how have they not learned by now? And this is why I think, Nate, I like what you were saying, that people are not right to call for Brad's head. He should not be fired, but you're not incorrect you're not out of line to question, you know, the current state of the team. So I think that, say, next year, if they have another down year, if he, you know, doesn't find an X's and O's guy to help him on the bench, if he keeps, you know, his son around to continue running the offense like this, then I think he can start asking some tougher questions. We'll see where that goes. I mean, another stat that I saw was that obviously we're, I think, top 5 in three-pointers attempted. And since, I think, January 10th or January 12th, we are second to last in all of college basketball.
That is nuts.
Percentage. So top 5 in makes, second to last. All of college. This includes teams like Chicago State, fucking the shittiest bottom of the barrel D1 teams, and we're shooting worse than them. So stuff like that's just embarrassing. I think going forward, obviously I don't want Underwood to be fired, but I think I told this to a couple buddies. I'm changing my tune from I trust Brad, which is what I said after last season and after the season before that. I do trust Brad to put a team together, but now I'm going to start saying I trust Whitman. I trust Whitman to either get a new coach after next year or the year after that, or I trust Whitman to now, which I think is a solution, sit Brad down, have a real talk about the future, talk to him about getting some, assistant coaches who can do a better job running the offense, because he doesn't need help recruiting. Honestly, that's the thing. I think, obviously, this year you had some misses with your evaluations in the transfer portal. But that's fine. I mean, that's going to happen. You can't, win the Big Ten every year. You can't make a deep tournament run every year. You whiff on a guy like Ben Hummerkaus, Oswald. That's fine. I mean, that's going to happen. But it's how you move forward. And I think I do trust Whitman to right the ship, help Brad right the ship. And if he doesn't, then I trust Whitman to find someone else. But obviously, after this year, no. After all Underwood's done for us, got to keep going with him.
All right, so we got about 3 minutes left on Illinois. I have a quick question about Illinois. So usually recruits, I kind of brought this up earlier before we talked. Recruits kind of watch these games and they determine where they're going to go so they can have the best chance to win a national championship, right? When Illinois is performing like this, and again, we play Michigan 15, they're ranked 15th, great. Play Michigan soon, and we also play Iowa. So I mean, from what you guys are seeing, I mean, we play Iowa tomorrow. Do you guys think this affects our recruiting at all from that Duke game, or is it gonna? I mean, do we have does that affect us at all at our culture? What do you guys think? I'll start with Nate.
Well, I think obviously losing on national television at Madison Square Garden is, probably not great, but I think a lot of players, especially in basketball, aren't necessarily going to the place to win a championship. They may be going to be one and done, or they may be going to make it to the NBA, make it to the next level. And Illinois recently has had a pretty good track record getting guys to the league, right? With Terrence Shannon Jr. Damask was tearing it up in the G League, and then he got a contract overseas. So, I mean, and Illinois has been a place where transfers have been able to flourish, clearly, in the past couple of years. And they are still, above 500 by a decent amount. And they still have a great chance of making the tournament. Obviously, that's not great, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I think what is bad, it might be even worse, is the upside down hanging of the banner. The recruit sees that. He's like, but losing to one of the best teams in the country, I don't know. It's going to happen, right? So.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that that might have some impact on a 5-star guy who is used to winning his whole life, like a top 10 guy,
right?
But the thing is now, I mean, we got those guys this year, Will Riley and KJ, and look how the season has turned out. So I think the focus needs to shift to more senior guys like a Marcus Damask or like a Quincy Guerrier, like we had last year, like a Jacob Grant, people with real deal experience. Because I mean, you look at the last whatever X amount of years, even with top tier programs like Duke, outside of this year, of course, because they're kicking everyone's ass, but Kentucky, these teams with a bunch of one and done guys, they're not the ones winning the championship. I mean, Kentucky won it in 2012, but they had, Anthony Davis.
Right.
Duke won it in 2015 with Grayson Allen, Jahlil Okafor, Justice Winslow. But outside of those years, we've seen, especially in the last, ever since that Duke year, the last 6 to 8, 9 years, it's been teams with experience that are winning the title, So I think that we got to go away from just trying to get the 5-star guy. So I don't necessarily think that this loss is going to have that big of a blow to recruiting.
Oh, good. All right, shifting our focus to the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers delivered a commanding performance against the Denver Nuggets, snapping Denver's 9-game winning streak with a decisive 123-100 victory. This game was a showcase to the star power and strategic play with standout performances from Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Luka Doncic in his 4th game as a Laker, he had 32 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, and he made a statement saying, "Our goal is to win the championship." LeBron James also added 25 points, further solidifying the Lakers' offensive strength. His leadership on the court continues to be a driving force for the team. Also acknowledged that by JJ Redick and also Luka Doncic as well in their interviews. Nikola Jokic, he had another triple-double, even despite the loss. 12 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists. However, he had 6 turnovers, which again was a huge factor for the Nuggets in that defeat. But when it comes to overall team performance, the Lakers' defense was crucial. They limited the Nuggets to just 13 points in the fourth quarter and effectively sealing the win. The victory marks the Lakers 14th in their last 18 games. So, that being said, I'll start with Nate here. When it comes to the Lakers, what do you guys think about this performance? What do you guys think they're going to do in the playoffs now with Luka like kind of starting to get his rhythm in?
Well, I'm gonna stand by the point I made when the Luka trade first happened, and they lost that first game back, and Luka was looking. He didn't have a great game on his debut. That those early games are going to happen, but obviously he's able to bounce back, and here with his first great game in a Lakers uniform. I think it quiets a lot of people saying that his confidence shaken because he got traded, and as he got traded, the Lakers called him fat on the way out, which was just uncalled for. But people were saying his confidence was shaken, like he's not the same player. He doesn't want to be there. And I think that's all total crap. And I think this game kind of proves that he's still the same guy, and that it's probably gonna work out for him. So we'll see how he plays down the stretch and how consistent he can be. But I mean, those first couple games, those are gonna happen. So.
All right, Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this kind of surprised me. I mean, we all know that the Nuggets have been beating the fucking Lakers' ass the last few years. They won like 13 or 14 straight games versus them, or 13 out of 14 games, something absolutely ridiculous. You got the whole city, the Mike Malone, the Nuggets coach, call themselves the Lakers' daddy every chance they get. It was pretty embarrassing, and they weren't incorrect in saying that. So to see this win from the Lakers on the road shocked me for sure. I don't know if it's the Luka Doncic factor. I don't know if the Nuggets just had a bad game. I don't know if it's this new defense that the Lakers were running against Jokic, how they're kind of having like the triple team on him. I don't know how that's going to work. It seems to me like the Nuggets still got Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray. They got shooters, so I don't know how that's going to work if on a game where Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray or Christian Braun, some of those guys are shooting hot, but seem to work pretty well for now. I mean, I don't know. Do I think that this game automatically means the Lakers are contenders? I don't know. But, I mean, one thing you should watch for is my boy Alex Len. He had 1 rebound, 0 points, and 0 assists in 3 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. He's trash. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if the Lakers can keep going without – I mean, they still have, like, no big man except for Jackson Hayes, who had 4 points in 25 minutes. So, obviously, this game, they got it done. But Mike Malone, the Nuggets, they're smart dudes. Nikola Jokic – they'll probably find a way to figure out this defense. So if we're talking 7-game series, I don't know. I don't know where this puts the Lakers, but it is very exciting.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're a Lakers fan, so I'm definitely not. Am I right?
Okay, whatever. Okay, listen, dude, I gotta be honest. Like watching the game, like this is cool and all. Like it's nice, but I think in a 7-game series, I do think the Nuggets definitely win. I mean, Jamal Murray is not playing well right now. And honestly, he hasn't been playing well very much all season, which is totally fine. But the point is that he's an impact player. He knows how to play in the playoffs. That team in and of itself, like you said, you have Michael Porter Jr. You have basically the same Nuggets team as it was pretty much last year. And almost kind of the same when they won. I'm pretty sure it's without Caldwell Pope and somebody else, right? Or Gordon, right? Or something like that. But I just know that
Aaron Gordon's still on the team.
Oh, he is? Okay, yeah. So I mean, just watching the Nuggets, I mean, they're gonna be fine. I think in a 7-game series against the Lakers, they definitely take them 100%. And
I agree.
I mean, Russell Westbrook, I hate to say it, bro, but he's pretty nice. He's still kind of nice, you know what I mean? He's kind of mid, but he's nice. So, do you have anything to say, Nate, about that?
Didn't Westbrook just come back from some injury, right?
I think so. Yeah.
He was hurt most of the year, right?
Yeah.
Good for Westbrook, bro. Westbrook could. I mean, he seems to be fitting into that lesser role. If he can get a ring, good for Westbrook.
Yeah. Hopefully, shit. I mean,
he's got a high motor. He's got a high motor. He just make sure he doesn't shoot the ball. He'll be totally fine.
Yeah. All right. Moving on from that, we're going to go into the Golden State Warriors, delivering a commanding performance against the Dallas Mavericks, securing a 126-102 victory. This game was a showcase to show their star power with Jimmy Butler coming in the rotation, trying to show everybody what they got coming up in the playoffs. Fun game to watch. Stephen Curry led the Warriors with 30 points, including 16 in the third quarter, and he didn't even play in the fourth, which was freaking crazy. This dude sat down, just relaxed. I mean, they didn't have to do much. It was pretty much Draymond and Jimmy doing everything in the fourth quarter. Jimmy Butler made his debut for the Warriors, contributing with 18 points, 5 assists, and playing a very crucial role on defense. His presence is a significant boost for the Warriors. I 100% believe that. Podziemski's career night also was amazing. He added 17 points and had a career high 13 rebounds. Dude, I told you guys this last episode. They're going to be like Podziemski, all these players you guys are saying like, oh, they're just role players. You know, they're just players that you guys are saying are great. Dude, these players are going to be impact players in the playoffs, and they're going to get this man, Steph, another ring. That's how I feel. But with that being said, what do you guys see about this Warriors team? What do you guys think about this Warriors team seeing that game last night?
Yeah, to give you a little bit of credit, Jordan, I mean, we all know I live and breathe to hate the Warriors. They're probably my least favorite team ever. I've been on record saying a couple of years ago that I would sacrifice my own life if it meant that the Warriors would never win another championship. I have said that before, and I would still do it because millions of people would love me, by the way. But to give you some credit, Jordan, yeah, I mean, the Warriors have looked great the last few games. They kicked the shit out of the Mavericks. To be fair, though, no Anthony Davis.
Fine. But hey, they were on a 3-game winning streak before that. They were on a 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, they were. And what are they? They're 5-1 since the Jimmy Butler trade. They look a lot better than I expected. But I mean, I think it's still too early to say. If this, moves the needle even more. I said it moves them from a 10 seed to maybe a 5 or a 6 seed, but it's hard to say, and only because I'm glad that you're excited, Jordan, but they haven't beaten the, upper echelon teams. Like the teams they beat are the Bulls, who suck. They lost to the Mavs a couple weeks ago right before the All-Star
break. Fucking charge. It was by 2 points.
Beat the Kings. The Rockets are decent, but I mean, I'm looking at these teams. I need to see them, do this against the Nuggets. I need to see them do it against the Thunder, the Celtics, or the Cavs, before I could really say anything. But I am man enough to admit when I was slightly wrong, and the Warriors have definitely surprised me a little bit.
All right, Nate, what do you think?
Pretty much agree with everything Matthew said. Would you say you said Podziemski was going to be the player to carry them to a championship?
Whoa. I didn't say carry. He's going to be an impact player in the playoffs. He's going to be, dude, he has never been in the playoffs. He is going to play well.
A player who's never been in the playoffs, all the more reason for him to do well in the playoffs, right? Dude, that's such a telling sign of him.
Bro, he's playing
player's going to do really well.
Bro, because Jimmy Butler he's giving these people confidence, bro. Jimmy Butler is giving these people confidence to go out there and play their game, bro. They look comfortable out there. These rookies, these motherfuckers coming from the G League. I mean, bro, you have to think like this team just needs confidence. That's all they need to win, bro. And if they can just see like that little light in the tunnel, they will win. Yeah, just like in 2022. Just saying. All right.
So it'd be Jimmy Butler that was helping him, not Pods. Then.
What do you mean, dude? It was said during the broadcast. I was listening to commentators. It's basically him becoming an impact player for the rest of the team. Like, if you're going to be a good player or a great player, you have to be able to impact the players around you, correct? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so playoff Jimmy coming into this team, a team that was already, before he joined, pretty much deflated, didn't want to actually, dude, nobody was really feeling it. Everybody kind of just had, this thing where, we're going to work our asses off to do it, but it's going to be pretty goddamn hard without a third huge factor on the team. I mean, everybody was pretty much, they're, again, like I said, 11th, 10th seed in the West. I mean, a tough West. I mean, you need another impact star player. You have Jimmy Butler to be that person. And now that you have Jimmy on the team, everybody's just playing well. Everybody's just playing as a unit, and everybody is actually looking for a championship, just like in 2022. And it's a good ass feeling to watch.
So let me ask you this: do you think, what about this team versus the Nuggets? How do you think they fare in a 7-game series?
Honestly, size-wise, they lack 100%, but I do not. I mean, Miami Heat lagged against the Nuggets when they were playing against them. When it came to them, when Jimmy Butler was on the team and it was playoff Jimmy. I mean, it's you can still get around that with size, with brain power and all that other shit on your team, bro. You got Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, and Steph Curry on the team. I'm pretty sure, lacking the size, you can still make your way through a playoff. 100% make that run. I believe that. Just
So you
like
think
the Heat
they're
did.
so are you saying they would beat the Nuggets in a 7-game series then?
I do. I 100% believe that. Jimmy, I believe that they beat him in a 7-game series, and I believe it would be. Nah, I'd say it'd be like, yeah, 5, 4-1.
You think they're gonna 4-1 the Nuggets?
I do. I 100% believe that. Probably go to, and if not, they go to
Jesus.
Game 7. That's fine. But that's what I think.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love Jimmy Butler. That's my guy. He's my favorite player ever since he made the All-Star game way back in 2015. I picked up his All-Star jersey way back then, and he is a motivator. I do think he helps his team tremendously. But I don't know about in a 7-game series beating the Nuggets like that. I still think it's an uphill battle. So they're the 9 seed right now. They still got to get up to the. I think they need to get out of the play-in because I think you could easily drop a game or two and not just miss the playoffs. So I think their goal for right now is to put your head down and just get out of the play-in and move up the standings.
Agree. I see that and I feel that. But I mean, like I said, you got the Hornets, Magic, 76ers, Hornets, Knicks, Nets, and then Pistons. I mean, that's their
Those are all
future.
winnable games. Yeah.
I mean, those are all super winnable games, and then like just advances them up even more. And like I said, I just believe with this team with playoff Jimmy, this is 2022 Warriors. This is 2022 Warriors, in my opinion. But we'll go. Matt, do you have anything to say about this?
You already know my feelings. Got to see a little bit more.
Sounds good. All right, we got time. So now it's time to touch on a couple more things on the NBA side. So what we want to touch on real quick, I'll let you guys touch on this, and then I'll give my points. I'll start with Matt. The Knicks cannot beat good teams in the East. The Knicks are just frauds, in my opinion. What do you guys think about that? Matt, you go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is something that everybody kind of knows, except for either Knicks fans or people who just want to, have a hot take like online that are like, oh, I predicted the Knicks are going to go to the finals. Yeah. Fuck no, everybody knows that. I mean, it's no surprise they can't beat teams like the Celtics or the Cavs because they're straight up not as good as them. I mean, Jalen Brunson's great, but when you're going up against Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Donovan Mitchell, he doesn't really compare to that trio of guys. I mean, Cat's good, but I mean, he just melts in the playoffs. You saw how he performed against the Mavericks. The Mavericks made him their bitch. Like, pretty much. I don't know. Celtics are loaded. The Cavs are loaded. I don't really think the Knicks have a chance. Yeah, no surprise to me. I mean, I think anyone who really knows ball, someone like me, no, I'm just kidding. But I think most people can spot the regular season fraud teams. I mean, we all said it about the Hawks in 2015. We all said it about the Jazz in 2021. It's pretty easy to spot. I think the Knicks, very fun team to watch. I think it's cool for New York that, they actually have a good regular season team to cheer for. But I mean, let's be real. This team's not doing shit.
All right, Nate, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think I picked them to go to the conference finals, but that was about it. I mean, I can definitely see them getting out of the first round, but I mean, they just can't beat teams over 500. And when you're in the playoffs, anybody after the first round is going to be above 500. And you may run into like a pretty good team in the second round. So, I mean, no, I don't think they have that bona fide star that puts them over the edge. Like let's say you replace Cat or Brunson with like KD or Luka or something like that, like a top 10 player in the NBA, top 5 player in the NBA, whatever you want. Then I would say maybe they're a championship team, but I don't think they have that. So none of those players really scare me like that. I do think they're regular season merchants. I kind of feel the same way about the Cavs because of their lack of experience in the playoffs. But having the Cavs having just beat the Knicks, I kind of have more faith in them right now than I do in the Knicks.
Okay. All right. And
That's the
then
thing.
ahead.
Like you're saying, I mean, teams recently. This is why I said like what the Bulls did a few years ago. It doesn't work. Like when your team is built around those top 10 to 20 guys, yes, you can make a conference finals. But look at every team that's won an NBA championship in the last whatever amount of years. You got to have a top 5 player. I mean, you could argue that maybe Jason Tatum isn't top 5 like last year, but that is kind of a super team in its own right, the Celtics. So I mean that doesn't really count because they had so many other great role players and great borderline superstars. So yeah, other than that, I mean a team that's won the NBA title pretty much honestly in the last like 25 years outside of like the Pistons in 2000 in 2004, pretty much every team has had a top 5 player on it. So
Yeah.
that's the same reason that I'm down on the Knicks. I'm also, you can see the Cavs go to the conference finals, but the finals, I don't think so.
Yeah, and that Bulls team that you mentioned, they couldn't beat top teams either. I remember during the regular season,
Yeah.
if they played any team in the top like 3 of either conference, they would always get their ass kicked. So,
All right, and real quick, let's talk about Wemby. Wemby is out for the season, and then I don't know who put this, but somebody said something about them getting Cooper Flag.
that was me. That was me. I just threw that in there for fun because I saw something on Twitter. So, Duncan Robin or what? David Robinson, he got hurt, and then they got Tim Duncan in the draft. So, so what if Wemby gets hurt here, and then somehow they luck out and get Cooper Flag in the draft? Just I don't know, because history repeats itself or whatever. I mean, you still have to completely luck out because it's a lottery, right? The top whatever picks are complete crapshoot. But they're probably going to lose a lot more games now, so their odds might be a little bit better.
Now we're going into 2 segments. We're going to continue with the hot take segment as well because we always do that. We're going to save that for the end, but we're going to start with the segment that was brought up by Matt. Basically, the question is, if you could change one sports outcome, what would it be and why? And you know what? I'm going to start with Matt because I believe this is his. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as a tortured Illinois fan, there's a lot of things I could put. Obviously, winning the championship in 2005, even though I wasn't old enough to actually witness that. Maybe making the tournament once from, 2014 to 2020 would have been nice. Getting Malcolm Hill a tourney appearance, maybe not losing to fucking Loyola Chicago in 2021, or getting matched up with the number 2 team in Ken Pom in Houston in the second round in 2022. I mean, come on. Or not having this year in the 2023 season totally fucking fall apart for no reason. But I'm going to do something a little different because I'm kind of sick of talking about Illinois. We talked about them a bunch. The whole season is just derailed, and, I don't even want to think about it. So I'm going to go with the classic. I would vote Kevin Durant does not go to the Warriors in 2016. So this is because I think that, everybody already knows it was the weakest move ever. He was up 3-1 against them, choked a 3-1 lead. They were a 73-9 team. They were 1 game away from winning the finals, and he joined that team. I don't know. It's literally like, you see an old man getting robbed on the street, and you just walk up and you're like, hey, old man, I'm going to rob you with these fucking dudes. Give me all your money. It's like not even deciding to help the old man. Kind of ruined the competitive balance of the NBA because you just knew the Warriors going to win for the next, X amount of years. They only won 2 championships because basketball gods kind of did their thing and made KD tear his Achilles. Or else, obviously, they would have won in 2019 because, the Warriors almost beat them. They went to 6 games without KD. So, yeah, I would probably do that. I think it just, everyone always talks about how the NBA is in the gutter. And I think you can kind of point to that one year when, KD left. I think we could have had some more competitive years of the Cavs versus the Warriors. I think, having running it back in 2017 with some actual, competitiveness, I think would have been nice. So I think that's the biggest thing that I'd change.
Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, that would be sick. I mean, I remember waking up and seeing that on Instagram that morning, and I literally thought it was fake. I literally did not think it was real. I mean, I was so mad at Kevin Durant. I still kind of hate him for it. I mean, I don't really have much else to say about it. I want to hear what Jordan's got to say on it.
I mean, I just don't. Yeah, I knew. I had a feeling as soon as I saw this question in the document at like fucking 10 a.m. I was like, yeah, this fucker's gonna put fucking KD to the fucking Warriors or something with the Warriors. But I like, bro. First off, all I have to say about that is I have no. I mean, bro, I am a Steph Curry fan. All right, I am a Steph Curry fanatic. Before
I
he
didn't
even
put this.
got there,
I didn't make this my take to get on Steph Curry. That's not. I didn't even mention Steph Curry.
I know. I'm just saying. There's a 30 on that fucking wall, and guess what? It's fucking bro. And when you go to the left side, you see all the jerseys he's had ever since he's been in the league. Now listen, okay. I don't have anything. I can't control KD. All right. I see all the fucking memes where Draymond was crying in his car. Fucking, please get over here. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. That shit didn't happen, bro. KD made his decision. He wanted to play with Curry. He wanted to play with Draymond. He went over there. There's nothing that I can do to stop that. All I know is Steph Curry is the greatest point guard to ever live. That's all I gotta say.
First of all, that totally happened. Pop the picture up right here.
It did not
Draymond
happen.
cried after losing, pulling a 3-1 lead.
Dude,
he cried in the parking lot, tears running down his face to Kevin Durant. We all know it. It's just a true story.
Right, bro,
Nothing else to say about it.
Apparently
Dude, I just remember when that I used to send you that picture like
yeah, and it was stupid.
damn near every day.
All right, it was dumb. All right. Anyways, Nate, you give us your freaking. If you could change the sports outcome, what would you change? Go ahead, Nate.
So I think the obvious one for Chicago sports fans is, Derrick Rose doesn't get hurt. So I'm not going to do that. It's kind of boring. A little overplayed. Obviously, we all wish that didn't happen.
I wish.
And then I also thought about doing, what if Illinois doesn't lose to Minnesota in football this year at 10-2? Do they get a college football playoff bid? But to be honest, at 10-2, I can see them still not getting a bid just because of the SEC bias. So I'm gonna do in honor of my one of my favorite players, Jimmy Butler. Back in, what was the year that the Raptors won? That was 2019. Back in 2019, when Kawhi hit that fadeaway in the corner to beat the 76ers in Game 7. What if Kawhi misses that shot? Then the 76ers move on, probably beat the Bucks in the conference finals, and then they go to the finals. This is a lot to happen, but they go to the finals, and then Kevin Durant and Klay still get hurt in that finals. I think the 76ers just replaced the Raptors team with that 76ers team. I think they probably win a chip that year. And that was back when I was still like a giant Jimmy Butler fan. That was my guy. I didn't hate Joel Embiid yet. I kind of don't really like him that much. I think JJ Redick was on that team. Yeah, he only plays like 50% of the games in his career.
Didn't he just get hurt again?
Which is a real stat. I don't know. Probably. You could flip a coin. He's probably hurt. But I really like that. I really like that 76ers team. I thought they were really good. And I'll kind of die on this hill. I think that if that shot misses, I think the 76ers basically do exactly what the Raptors do. Barring that Kevin Durant and the injuries in the finals still happen. I totally think that 76ers team would win that chip. And I think that'd be cool.
All right. Nice. So for me, I think mine's God. I think mine's pretty like, oh, we saw that coming a mile of fucking way. Holy shit. Not gonna lie, when I've been watching sports all of my life, bro, I've been kind of on the more, thankfully, on the more winning aspect of things, I guess you could say, for the people that I enjoyed watching growing up. Okay. Now that I've gotten older, I've solidified teams and gotten on there instead of just following individual players necessarily. But if I had to change one thing in sports, it has to be the 3-1 comeback by fucking LeBron James and fucking the Cavaliers. All right. That shit was pitiful. That shit broke my fucking heart. Seeing the block against Iguodala even broke my heart even more, because it's like, that's like a national. I mean, dude, I see that shit all the fucking time. Like all the fucking time. It's crazy. Kudos to fucking LeBron and the Cavs, Guy Reed. It was great. Comeback, obviously making a stamp in history. First team to ever come back to the finals from 3-1, blah, blah, blah. Great. I wish I could take that back, just because, again, like I said, everything plays out the way it's supposed to play out. Give them back that championship. He's at 5. And then, now he's going for 6. You know what I mean? So
I will say though, you could argue though, if they win, KD might not go to the Warriors, and then Steph would have 2 less rings.
That is good.
Something you could say though.
That is a good point. I'm glad things have came out the way they have, thankfully. But like I said, that is a good point. If they win there, does KD come to that Warriors team? Probably not. They just won a championship. Why go to a team that just won? But
yeah, Draymond's definitely not crying in the parking lot after that game if they win. So.
Don't think he's crying in the parking lot to begin with. At the first place, I think there's only some shit that you came up because you watch Barry McCockiner. By the way, if you don't know who Barry McCockiner is, he's a fucking dumbass on Twitter. I'll put him right on screen. He's a fucking actual dumbass. If you follow this guy and like his tweets, you're part of the fucking problem. All right, fuck you. And I hate that goddamn account. All right, anyways,
if we're talking about Barry, can we pop up my favorite tweet of his? Just back in 2020 during all those riots that were happening. And this is before Steph Curry had a finals MVP, and he tweeted out a picture of an empty trophy case and he said, "Holy shit, somebody broke into Steph Curry's house and stole all his finals MVPs."
Okay, hilarious. Fucking stupid. I hate it. Again, dumb comic. You can't say shit now. Anyways, like I said, let's now move on to the hot take or not. At the end of every one of our podcasts, we usually finish with the hot take or not segment. I'm pretty excited about this one. I'll go ahead and let Nate start. Nate, what is your hot take or not?
All right. So my hot take is that Alabama football is not cooked, but I don't think they'll ever be as dominant as they were without Saban. And now that all teams are allowed to pay their players, I think Alabama football being utterly dominant as they were, I think those days are over.
Wait.
And especially considering the season they just had. I mean, which is a great season by all football program standards. But I think their run as complete, as just unanimously the best program and team in football is totally over. That's my take.
Okay, real quick. Can you tell me, I did not know you could play. Wait, when did that become a thing? Just recently?
Like after Saban left.
Huh. Oh, okay.
Oh wait, what do you mean? You mean like
I know
NIL?
I know NIL, but I'm saying, are you saying like they can pay like? Okay, is it just NIL?
Well, through
shit?
NIL that is paying, but I mean it's like
I thought you meant like
I don't know.
Could,
it's not
pay,
confirmed, but I mean Alabama probably paid their players under the table for years.
That's what I was thinking, because
that's probably how they got all the best recruits, because you want to get paid, you go there. But now that everybody can do it for it evens the playing field.
Okay, I
don't think they're going to be as dominant as they once were.
Yeah, for some reason
that's my take.
When you said like they could pay players, I honestly thought you meant like the university would like not pass NIL like under the table kind of thing. But go ahead, Matt. What do you think? Hot take or not?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a hot take. Although I can see where it's coming from. I mean, obviously, they didn't have the best year this year. I mean, I think if they beat Michigan in the fucking whatever bullshit bowl they played, this would be a little bit of a hotter take. But now, I mean, just because losing to that Michigan team, how the fuck does that happen? I mean, Illinois beat the shit out of that Michigan team. That Michigan team, I think, lost to like Washington. That's bad losses this year. So I don't know. I think that losing that game should be a big kind of a scare for Bama fans, but also I don't know. The reason it's why I do think it may be a hot take is because I know basketball is different, but like you see these basketball programs such as Duke, they lost Coach K, and look at them now. I mean, Kentucky lost Calipari. Kentucky's back to a top 10 team this year.
True.
So, obviously college basketball and college football are two completely different games, but like, you've seen the, quote, blue blood basketball programs kind of retain their dominance. I guess you could, North Carolina, their coach will probably get fired. They kind of suck this year, but their coach, Hubie Brown, his first year, the UNC was an 8 seed, but they made the title game his first year. So I think that although basketball is different, I think it could still be the same in football just because of their fan base, just because of the history, and just because of all the NIL money they have, because I don't even know what that number could be. It's got to be, in the 20 millions. So yeah, I do think it is slightly hot take, but I can definitely see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I honestly don't think it's a hot take, because I thought this because Nick Saban is one of the greatest coaches, right, to ever coach the game of football, right? If all dynasties, at some point come to an end, I don't think you can just put a coach to replace Nick Saban in that same culture. There's no way that they do well. So honestly, I don't think it's that much of a hot take. Not only that, bro, I honestly, this money thing makes a big difference. Didn't the Georgia quarterback leave to go to Florida? Fucking Florida.
He went to Miami.
Or Miami, sorry. Okay.
I think partly he went to Miami because his girlfriend goes there.
Okay, yeah, obviously, but you know how much money he made by that move? Like, that's ridiculous, bro. I cannot imagine making that much money at that age in college, bro. What the fuck? That's just insane. So I don't think it's a hot take, but I like to take regardless. Matt, go ahead. Go ahead. Hot with your hot take or not.
Yeah. I've been saying this for years. I don't see people saying this online. I feel like I am talking to brick walls whenever I say this out loud, but I've been saying this for years, and I'm going to say it here. Giannis Antetokounmpo, yes, the Giannis Antetokounmpo, 2021 NBA champion, is one of the biggest playoff chokers of all time, and nobody wants to talk about it. So I know what you're thinking. Oh man, this guy's crazy. What are you talking? Let me just explain. We got starting off in 2019. Actually, no. Starting off, I'm going to acknowledge that, yes, he won a championship in 2021. I'm going to come back to that. So 2019, the Bucks are the number 1 overall seed. They have home court advantage in the Eastern Conference Finals. They're up 2-0 against the Raptors. With home court advantage, I'll say that again, they lose 4 straight games, get eliminated in 6. The next year, they're the first overall seed in the bubble. They get the Miami Heat, who is the 5 seed. They lose in 5 games, and they were down 3-0. This is a 5 seed, Miami Heat. We're talking about the number 1 overall seed Bucks. We're down 3. Yes, Giannis did get injured in, I think, game 4 of that game. But they were still down 3-0. They were going to lose the series anyway. All right, next year they win the championship. We'll come back to that. 2022, they take a 3-2 lead against the Celtics. They lose the next 2 games with home court advantage, I might add. They beat Boston on the road in game 5 and then lost 2 straight games to the Celtics. Okay. And then the next year, they're the first seed and they lost to the 8 seed Bucks in the first fucking round. And the craziest part is the one game that they beat fucking Heat, Giannis didn't even play. The one game that they won in that series, Giannis did not play. Okay. And now going back to 2021, every single team that they played in that finals run, or that they could have played, that could have opposed the Bucks that year, got injured. All right. When they were playing the Nets in the second round, the Nets were up 2-0 fully healthy. They beat the shit out of the Bucks. They literally beat them by like 30 points in the first 2 games. And then, Kyrie and both Kyrie and Harden get injured. Then all of a sudden the Bucks magically win. And I say magically, I don't say that lightly. They literally won by half of a Kevin Durant toe. It's crazy. And then in the West, the teams that could have opposed them in the West, the Lakers were up 2-0 or 2-1 and winning in game 4 against the Suns. AD goes down. They lose 3 straight. The Clippers with Kawhi were cooking that year. Kawhi goes down. And the Clippers almost beat the Suns. They took them to 6 games without Kawhi. So basically, Giannis goes to the finals and he gets to play the only player with more choking powers than him in Chris Paul. It's like Chris Paul's magical choking powers just elevated Giannis's game, and so they won a title. That's my take. I think that outside of that year where literally every single team got injured, Giannis has had a horrific choke job, losing to 8 seeds, getting almost swept by teams that are much worse than them as the number 1 seed. That's my take.
Well, honestly, when you put it in that scenario, I got to say, it's not that much of a hot take. I mean, dude, I gotta be real. You sold me. Giannis is shit. I mean, dude, Giannis is just shit. I mean, I don't think Giannis is like, he's one of those dudes where you're like, dude, he's super big. He's 7 foot. He's like a monster coming down court. He's great during the regular season, bro. Hell yeah. When you get into the playoffs, this dude sucks. He is literally terrible. And like you said, that one series where they won the one game and that man was not playing. Dude.
That's true. You can fucking look it up too,
dude. Yeah, put that man, put the motherfucker away, bro. The motherfucker's ass. All right, just hang it up, bro. That's what I think. Not a hot take, bro, but I love I love that shit. That was a good take.
And I mean that MVP year when I said they were up 2-0 on the Raptors and lost 4 straight games, Giannis was the MVP that year. He averaged like 31 and fucking 15 or something. In the playoffs, he averaged like 22 and 10. It's like his numbers got like cut in half. So. Yeah, that's what I gotta say there.
All right, Nate, what do you think?
Yeah, not a hot take. I've heard you explain this one to me before, and it's not something I really noticed until you pointed it all out. But yeah, I'm gonna go
And
not
nobody
hot
does.
take.
That's the thing. Nobody talks about this. Sorry.
I think
Sorry.
I think now maybe he's probably more susceptible to come under fire because of how bad that the Bucks still are after trading for Damian Lillard, which is supposed to be the guy that pushes them back over the edge to win another championship. And now they're under 500 and might not even make the playoffs. So I can see more people maybe talk about that now, but I'm gonna go not hot take.
I also want to say, dude, that Bucks organization is a bunch of clowns, bro. You guys literally got rid of who was the last guy? I'm sorry, I can't remember his name on top of my head.
They got rid of Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma.
No. I'm not talking about the player. I'm talking about the coach. Who was the coach that got fired?
Mike Budenholzer.
Yeah, there we go. So Mike gets fired, and you hire Doc Rivers, bro. This man couldn't do shit with the 76ers. He barely did shit with the damn Celtics, bro. And that was back in the day, bro. Of course he was going to do shit with the Celtics. He had KG, Rondo, Allen, bro. I mean, he had a Baby Davis. This man had a stacked team.
Paul Pierce.
Yeah, I didn't even.
I should name him last.
Okay, fuck Paul Pierce. Okay, anyways, but yeah, Paul Pierce, bro. He had a fucking dominant squad. Yeah, no shit, you're gonna do something. Now you give him the 76ers, and he didn't do shit with that team in the playoffs. In fact, the motherfucker lost a 3-0 lead. He is the worst coach I have ever seen in my life. Not only that, why would you hire him to the Bucks with literally Damian Lillard on the team? You guys sold, bro. If you would have put a different coach on that damn team, I guarantee you the Bucks wouldn't be in this position. You literally made that team unsuccessful by hiring Doc Rivers. But go ahead.
Doc Rivers.
Well, okay, I guess it looks like the Bucks actually are over 500. They're 32-24 right now. But still, I mean, you got Giannis.
My bad.
Your points still. Okay. No, you're good. The points still stand. You got Giannis, you got Damian Lillard, you got Kyle Kuzma. But still, you should be better than 32-24, especially as a team that won a championship. But no, it's a fake ass championship, so I guess you really can't even hold them to that standard. But yeah,
we'll go with that. All right. So for me, I'll finish off this podcast with my hot take. I kind of mentioned this last week, a little bit. Pretty much, my last week take was that Pelicans were going to sleep on Zion, and Zion was going to do amazing, right, dude? Zion's at his lightest weight, okay? And listen.
I saw that too.
He's at his lightest weight right now, okay?
Which is still bad as fuck, by the way.
Wait, the lightest weight he's been in the league. Okay, listen. I feel like we can start seeing now little like Duke moments, like freshman Zion Duke moments. Like I'm talking like where this man is literally dominating and dictating the game and the flow of the game. He's going to be one of those elite players, just like Anthony Edwards, just like Luka Doncic. He is going to be one of those players. I promise you. I know you, and you can say like, oh yeah, now like you can say like, well, he's had a terrible start to the league. The motherfucker came in the league, fucking porn stars and shit. You know what I'm saying? This dude was like all unfocused of everything. This man was just not focused about anything. The man was gaining weight, eating, and doing dumb shit on the outside. 100%. Now that the Pelicans kind of got him on the strict diet, got him more on the strict plan, dude, I honestly believe that Zion now will start to show and start to grow. And even if it's not with the Pelicans, dude, he's going to be one of those. He will be top 5 in the league in about 5 years. Not even. Yeah, 5 years. 5 years. I'll give it 5 years.
So that's your hot take. He's going to be top 5 in the league.
100% because it's going to be like LeBron's going to be out of here. KD will be out of here. Eventually, Kyrie will be out of there. Steph will be out of here in 5 years. I honestly believe now that we're looking at this new, like, Wemby, Luka, Anthony Edwards, these star players. I mean, I got to put Zion there because, bro, he's our draft class. He's literally our age. Like, he's Luka Doncic. Like, they're all the same age. He's going to be a great player. I really believe that. But I'll start with Matt. What do you think? Hot take or not?
Honestly, I don't even know. I did see that tweet that Giannis is like down to like 450 pounds now, and he's the lightest he's been in years. So
okay, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I mean that. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I did see that. I think it's good for him, but it's like, why isn't he playing? Like, I don't even know. Like, what is he injured?
How
many games has he played this year? Oh, okay, he is playing. Okay, it looks like he played yesterday. He had 22 points.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Pelicans though. I mean, Pelicans are straight up dog shit. I mean, they're last place in the West right now, 14-43. So I mean, I don't know.
100%.
Are they gonna trade? I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna trade him. I don't know if they're tanking and they're even. Do they even have a pick? I don't know. Maybe they're gonna try and get whoever. At top 10, if you would say that, I would say that's not a hot take. But top 5, yeah, I'll say that's a hot take, just because there's a lot of rising stars right now.
Yeah. All right. I'll agree with that. All right, go about you, Nate. What do you think? Hot take or not?
Yeah, I think top 5 is for sure a hot take. Good for him that he's turning it around. Like I said, if he can change his game a little bit, I know you said we might start seeing more like stuff like that he did at Duke with these high flying dunks, but I think he needs to move away from that. It's the stuff that's going to get him hurt. If he can change his game a little bit more, and I know I said this before too last time we talked about, if he can change his game to be more, sort of like when Blake Griffin had that 1 year renaissance in Detroit, where he stopped being high flying and he got some dribble moves and got a post game. I'm not saying do those 2 specific things for Zion, but if he can do something similar where he doesn't have to rely on his athleticism, then sure, I can see him getting way better.
Yeah.
But top 5 in the league is in my opinion crazy. I saw this stat. It took him like however many years he's been in the league. He's only played like 200 games so far. I know he's like top 5. I'm maybe misquoting the stat, but he's like top 5 and fastest to get to 5,000 points.
Yeah.
But he's like what, been in the league for like 5 years or something, nearly 6 years. He's only played 200 games.
Yeah.
You would have to become a top 5 player, you have to drastically change that. Right now, I think the Pelicans don't let him play in back-to-backs. I think he was quoted in saying that he would if he could, but the Pelicans are holding him out. And I get that. I think it's the right mentality to have. But I just don't see him changing his injury-prone ways. I'm just not a believer in it.
All right, and I feel that, and I agree. I mean, I got you. I am a little worried about that, but I mean, I feel like what I mean by his Duke freshman performance, I don't really mean like the explosiveness on offense as much as the explosiveness on defense as much. I mean, like, bro, he was a lockdown defender, and I honestly believe if he lost some weight, got quicker, and you're able to move like that body at 6'8", I think he can make a huge fucking difference. And I think we're sleeping on him a little bit, man. This is Zion Williamson. I mean, dude, I think he's a good player. I think if you let him fucking play, I think he'll be all right, bro. I think he'll develop into that player that we all think that he can be and what he should be, in my opinion. But I don't know. That's just my take. But with that being said, that is to wrap up our podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're on Instagram and TikTok, make sure you hit that follow button. It's much appreciated. I'm Jordan. That is Matt. This is Nate. And like I said, thank you guys so much for being here at the What Man Podcast. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.